Hello?
Guess we're live now.
Keith, are you on?
See, I just click start video. It's prompted now. We'll see.
Okay. Oh, there I am. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Hello.
Keith, are you?
I think he's on.
Hello?
Oh,
450 Far Island Avenue?
yes.
Ah, how do you do, Keith?
Hi.
So you're here for the parking for your facility on 450 Far Island Avenue, is that correct?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of pieces to it. I'm not really sure exactly what they want from me, but I know at the moment my building does not exist with enough parking as per the zoning requirement.
Right. Okay. So that's what we looked at, and one of the questions that came up, do you have apartments upstairs?
There's one apartment upstairs. So
One apartment upstairs. So with that figured in, we're looking at a calculation of like 17 parking spaces.
yeah, I believe we came up with like 9 spots, I believe.
10, that's what we have, 10, right?
Yeah, 10 shown on the plan.
Right. So at that point, if you could ask the zoning board of approval or zoning board of appeals their approval. For that short site of parking.
Municipal parking, like you said.
The drainage calculation says 43 required, and you provide us with 30. Again, the ZBA would have to sign off on that as well. The property is 83, which is fine, because it's supposed to be 80. And the lot coverage is fine at 28.7%.
You want to ask about that?
Is there anything else you?
We do have access to off-site parking. We have like to support the store. There's some parking in front of the building, and there's also some parking down at the dock.
Yeah, which would be utilized by the retail space on the first floor there.
Yeah.
And you're repairing boats there?
Yeah, well, we're gonna be doing some working on boats. We'll repair boats. We'll do some work with boat trailers, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, which is acceptable for the area, of course. So at this point, we would recommend you to go to the zoning board of appeals to take care of these issues with your parking and they can give you a variance for that.
Now, my question is, everything that you see here, that this stuff has been existing for about 30 years, is my belief.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything to do with that? I thought, like every bit of this building all has certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
And I think Stephen Feldman was more concerned about he was concerned about the parking, but he was also concerned about the use of the building, and that the planning board be okay with our proposed use of the building.
Well, the proposed use is acceptable with the area, but that's not why we feel it was brought before us. I think they're trying to fit what you want to do on that piece of property. In order to do that, you need to have the space for the parking.
Yeah, now, is there anything to be said for the existing construction as it's been? Or,
Existing construction?
well, yeah, I mean, as we see here, I mean, it's been here, this building's been like this on this plot of property with whatever space has been available for parking for quite a while.
Right, but I don't believe the use was what was what you're using it for at the time. It was more of a bait and tackle store. So the use has changed a little bit.
All right. I mean, we still are operating a bait and tackle store.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only, you know, I mean, the demand is very limited. So,
Sure.
you know, it's not possible to maintain this property just on that little store.
Right.
Well, what about the boats? Are you storing boats there?
No, we have no plans. There are boats being stored there, but every single boat that's being stored there is owned by myself and my partner. We have no plans for storing boats, like as part of the business whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
What we
Okay,
do-
because your application says boat storage.
Yes, because I have boats there. We own you know, we own about 4 or 5 boats. We're only storing the boats that we own. So I had to put it as boat storage in that I'm storing my own boats there.
Okay. So it's not retail storage, it's just private storage.
I have 2 boats down at the dock that, you know, they're in the water right now that we use, and then I have a couple other boats that, actually in the picture there, I've had that one for quite a while, and I'm just not sure what to do with it at the moment. But it's not. I'm not looking to make a business of storing boats like we have across the street or like a boat retail thing. It's more about working on boats, doing some service to boats, things like that, and then really the storage of our own boats. So this winter, I expect to put, you know, my own boats in the backyard. That's it.
So are you repairing boats back there too?
We
Like-
will be doing like service, like we'll probably do some winterizations, things like that. Something along those lines. Not stuff that's really going to be there for a long time, like sort of like in and out kind of thing. We do have a couple of customers in the village that we've been helping out with their boats, you know, like on a small basis, but it's more to cater towards the, like, you know, like I feel like what we have here is like a boating community, and I think there might be some room for some other people to help with our boats here, you know. So far, my limited ability to get in touch with some people, we've you know, we've had a pretty good you know, understanding with people. Like, people seem to welcome us a little bit. So we're really just sort of looking to cater to that.
Okay.
So you would just be repairing one boat at a time then? Like
Well,
you wouldn't,
I wouldn't say that there'll be 1 or 2, but I mean, you know, there'll be a couple. I expect in the summer, for the most part, to be only, you know, a few boats in there. In the wintertime, I mean, my boats are going to be back there, and that's going to be 4 or 5 boats that are just going to be there, you know, shrink wrapped, there for storage until springtime that we can put them back in the water. I have some family members that like 1 or 2 that have boats that I, you know, may work on, things like that. But then also, you know, we prior to, I had a, you know, we did a little bit of transport, helping people in the village get their boat in the water and stuff like that. So, you know, that's kind of what we're looking to do, for the most part, I guess. And then also, you know, there's some stuff to do with the boat trailers, and then you know, hopefully we can expand the store a little bit, maybe provide a little bit more, you know. But the store has to catch on. I mean, you know, it's been vacant for quite a while, and to try to reestablish it, you know, it's a bit of a challenge.
Mhm. So you would be putting your own boats plus other boat trailers back there?
The only thing that would be stored there for longer than the time it takes to work on or repair would be the stuff that we own, if you will.
Oh,
You know,
Okay.
like part of the thing why we wanted to come to the village is we've always, like, you know, I've had boats since I was 19 years old, and you know, I kind of thought I would be able to fit in here that are, in the boating community with, with my, my experience with boats and working on boats and my desire to have a boat nearby. So
Okay, well, to your question, as far as the planning board's or Mr. Feldman's concern about the boats fitting in the area, we feel they do. But we'd just like to get the piece of property, now that the use has changed a little bit,
okay,
get a variance for the parking, and a little bit of drainage requirement there. And then we move forward from there.
all right,
And our letter will state that, compatible to the area, but these issues have to be addressed.
okay. So for the parking, I guess we go to the zoning board of appeals, and then I guess we try to get a variance on the parking, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you be painting bottoms and stripping bottoms there?
No, I will say we're not going to be a bottom painting facility at all. But we have no plans to do any sort of painting or anything along those lines. So it's gonna, repair, maintenance, the typical spring tune-up, like get the boat ready for the water, typical winterization, stuff like that. And then I don't know how many of you guys are boaters, but you put these boats in salt water and they tend to break. So we're there to help during the season for that as well. And I do know the other marinas that we have in the village, they're all very busy. And if you have a problem, get on the list. So I kind of think, it's a service that I believe will be welcomed.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you can expect a letter from the planning board
Okay.
stating that what we talked here, about the requirements for the parking variance and the drainage variance. We'll mention and the apartment upstairs adding to the parking. Okay,
Yep, understood.
all right.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go to Lee Avenue.
9 Lee Avenue?
Yeah, hi, how are you? This is
Good.
John Graff. I'm here with my wife Stephanie.
How you doing, John?
Good, how are you?
Good. So you're looking to add to the deck that you have up there, or remove that deck and put a big
So
deck?
we're looking to have that deck removed. That deck is about 30 years old and it's at the end of its life.
Mhm.
So we're looking to have a newer, more modern deck built.
Okay. So your deck. Let's see. The deck on the ground, is that there? Or are you gonna add that too?
We're gonna add the deck on the ground too. So it's gonna be a 2-story deck. Currently, it's just a deck off the second story. There's no deck on the first level.
Okay.
So we intend to have stairs that come from the second story deck down to the first, so we can get up and down. Currently, the deck, the only accessibility is through the upstairs bedrooms. So I don't
Right.
have accessibility from the outside.
Okay. That's where we run into trouble with the code, unfortunately. Outside staircases aren't allowed by the village code. That just doesn't mean that you can't get a variance for it, as we did with asking 455 Island Avenue to do. I don't know if you were listening to us. But the code does not allow us to approve any second story deck with stairs to the ground.
And my architect's already made me aware of that, so I'm aware
Okay.
I'll have to go before the zoning board.
Okay,
Um,
so he made you aware of the lot coverage as well?
He did. I believe the maximum was 25% in order to come out, I guess, towards the end of the back addition on the house, it would be 28%. So I'm asking for an
Little
increase of
variance on that.
3%.
Okay, and then the combined side yards, which should be 20, is 16, so there's a little variance for that as well, correct? He told you
Yeah, and
that?
having spoken to the neighbor on that side, he's willing to come and speak on my behalf. He has no problem with it.
Right, okay. So, second story deck in that area is, overlooking the water there is compatible with the area. If it was just a second story deck, we would approve it, but with the stairs, as your architect says, you would need to go to the ZBA for approval.
No, I understand.
Okay. So with that being said, you can get a letter from us,
I just have a question, Jim.
okay, sorry, Mac.
In your calculations, you used the upper deck to figure your percentage lot coverage.
Correct.
Because you.
I was told that the lower deck.
The lower
I
deck
was
is,
to-
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was told by my architect that the lower deck, because it's below a certain height level, doesn't factor into the lot coverage.
Okay.
If it's lower than 18 inches or so.
It doesn't need a permit if it's lower at 18 inches, but I'm not so sure that exempts it from being part of your lot coverage. We have to-
Theoretically, it could be a deck almost on the ground or
Yeah.
almost a patio, if you will.
Right.
And I see backyards on the water all the time covered in decks and patios.
All right, we'll clarify that. In any event, you would need a variance for the coverage, but I just was curious why you did the upper, but not the lower. So we'll look into that.
It looks like the second deck is a little bigger than two, correct? The second floor deck?
The
No,
second floor
actually,
deck,
one of the ground floor is bigger.
yeah,
Okay.
the one on the ground comes out further.
You know how high that will be off the ground?
Not off the top of my head. It'll be the
Right.
same height that it is right now.
And it's like one step down or so? Or,
Oh, the lower level
yes,
is, it's 2 steps. It's exactly 18 inches currently. And that comes right off the back of the house out of a sliding glass door. It's just,
Right.
there's a small landing. So we would just expand that to be at that level across the back.
okay. All right. Any lighting on these decks?
We intend to have lighting in the stairs for
Mm.
safety reasons and in the upper deck around, inside of the posts, just to illuminate a little bit, but nothing that would be obscene by any means.
Right, that's basically what we like, is something that's not obtrusive to the neighbors and shielded, kept on your property.
No, I think the deck we're doing is quite tasteful and will increase the value of not just our home, but I think the homes that look at our home from the back.
Yep.
It's quite expensive deck and top quality material, so
It looks nice.
thank you.
Yeah, does.
Okay, so, like I was gonna say before, you'll get a letter from us stating that, what the deck's compatible with the area. Unfortunately, that we can't approve the stairs to the ground and the lot coverage and side yard combination. All right,
Okay, understood. Thank you. Thank you for your time tonight.
and then you go.
Look into the calendar for the Board of Appeals too, to get on that list.
Right.
Yep, will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Good
Have a
evening.
good evening.
Jim, how will we get a definitive answer to that?
On the,
The deck on the ground floor? Even if it says 18 inches above, it's a permanent structure.
well, I look at it as more of a patio.
Ground.
Let's talk with Steve, but I believe it'll be,
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way. I just
Right.
want to know what's what.
Mhm. Understandable. Okay. Do we have anyone from 18 Harrison?
Good evening.
Harrison, okay.
Good evening, Brandon Hamchuk for the owners of 18 Harrison East. I'm the architect. All right, so tonight we are before you to ask permission for a proposed front and rear balcony. In June, we were approved by the zoning board for several variances to put a second story on the house, a front porch, a rear addition. And part of that plan, which I excluded at that time, was for a rear balcony off the master bedroom and a front balcony over the front porch. The front balcony is only going to be 35 square feet. It's 3'8" by roughly 9'7" wide. So it won't be able to house a tremendous amount of people. It's just for the owners to, sometimes in the morning go out there and have their coffee and look at the water.
It's off the master bedroom, right?
Well, the one I'm describing is off the front of the house over the front porch. Yes. There is the rear balcony that's off of the master bedroom.
Okay.
Again, for the homeowners only to, same thing, go out there and enjoy the water views from their master. So, and that rear balcony is only 25 square feet, 7'2" by 3'6". It's a cantilever. It does not have stairs down to the lower deck. It's strictly a balcony accessed by the property owners from the second floor.
Will not be covered.
It will not be. No, neither will be covered.
Could you just repeat the size of the
The front balcony will be 3'8" by, it's irregular, but 9'7", for a total of about 35 square feet. That's off the front. The rear will be 3'6" by 7'2", around 25 square feet.
Okay. Good. As you stated, no stairs to the ground.
Correct.
They won't be enclosed.
Will not be enclosed, right?
Any lighting planned?
There will be lighting because of the exterior doors. However, they will be shielded and the projection will not go beyond the property lines.
Perfect. Okay. So we feel that, anybody have any other questions? Or I move on?
No.
Okay. We feel that the balconies are compatible with the area. They meet all the requirements, and you'll get a letter of approval from us stating that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good luck. It looks like it's a great job that you have there, so wish you luck.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Hey,
We going to 140 now?
dun-dun.
I wonder if this is several owners for this building or a single owner.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Joe Bazell, Blanda Visconti, attorneys for the applicant. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. We're here tonight redeveloping the old Lomans site.
Yes.
It's at the corner of Deer Park Avenue and Grove. You can see it in that photo. The site itself is about 25,245 square feet with 175 feet of frontage on Deer Park Avenue and 150 on Grove. It's zoned retail. Currently, there are 4 commercial units in the building. Former Lomans occupied the lion's share of the building, the entirely southerly section. There's of the 3 units on the northerly side, 1 is still occupied by a broker. Otherwise, the rest of the building is vacant at this point. There's parking in the rear presently, 23 spaces. It accesses off Grove. You can see it on that aerial. That's where the curb cut is. The building is vacant. It's been vacant mostly for some time other than the broker's office. Obviously, we're right in the heart of the downtown here. The Deer Park Avenue corridor has a mix of 1, 2, and 3-story buildings, and it's a very traditional downtown with buildings at or close to sidewalk. Commercial on the first floor, good mix of operations, retail, restaurant, office, personal service, a bank and a gym. Many of the buildings have apartments above 1 story or 2. There are a number of buildings with, that are 3-story buildings, including the one immediately across Grove Place. There's 2 more up Railroad. There's a number of others on that strip, including one down at Deer Park Avenue and Main. But many of the buildings are mixed-use buildings, and mixed use is an integral component of a downtown. What we would like to do is redevelop this site. It's a great site. It's in the heart of the village. We'd like to work with the existing building, which means we would leave the landscaping at the corner of Grove Street presently. We would keep the existing setback at that point. We would keep the existing setback on the north side, which is 5 feet. We don't actually require any. We'd maintain the 30 on Grove and keep the landscape buffer on Grove. We would keep the landscape patio up front. It's a great asset for the downtown. We would refurbish it and kind of upgrade it and bring it into a more modern concept, but we would keep it. The parking in the rear, we have 23 spaces currently. We would raise that to 31. The parking requirement is 31 and a half, or 30, rounded to 32, so we're only 1 space shy. The number of commercial tenants, we're working basically with the 4 corners of the building. The reason there is only 4 now is because Lomans has that entirely southerly box component of the building. So we would redivide it to a maximum of 6 units. But that depends. You know, some tenants will probably want to take more than 1. Rear yard requirement is 15 feet. The rear yard at the first floor is maintained, that's 74. On the upper floors, it'll be over 50, so more rear yard than required. There will be a total of 14 apartments on 2 floors, 7 on each floor. The floors are mirror images of each other. Each apartment is over 500 feet. We think it's a very attractive building. This will be an improvement for this site and this area. And we're very lucky here because we have a good area for parking behind the building. 23 spaces now. We could up that, as I said, to 31. We'd replenish that buffer along the rear line. And otherwise, the site lays out very well now, but it was an older site designed for Lomans, so it's not really suited to other uses or the current world. But we think it's a great asset with the village, particularly with the plaza. It will be a positive improvement for this property and for the surrounding area. Is my architect out there? All right.
He's been muted.
You're on mute.
Oh, because I was gonna ask him to talk a little bit about the architecture on the building.
Okay. Good evening, all. My name is Ray Caliendo. I'm from Art of Form Architects, and we are currently working on the design of the building with the owners. The two primary bulk changes that I want to speak to tonight are the fact that we're actually going to be cutting back the ground level floor of the building by approximately 1,850 square feet in order to permit the additional parking. So yes, we're actually reducing the size of the building in order to create more parking. The second bulk change is more obvious, which is the two floors being added, or really 1.5 stories being added to the building. And I want to point out that although it's not easily seen, the Loman's building does have a second floor as it exists. So we're just going to be working off of that existing second floor and then adding another half story on top of it. As Attorney Bazell mentioned, we are looking to create a total of 14 apartments, 7 on each floor, 8 one-bedroom units, 6 two-bedroom units. The plaza at the corner of Grove and Park Avenue will be worked because, as Joe mentioned, that's a nice asset for the village. The owners want to make that as a pleasant a destination as possible. And as far as the architecture is concerned, in our initial conversations with the village, it was determined that we might try to not necessarily replicate, but possibly emulate the building at the northeast corner of Deer Park Avenue and Montauk Highway, which contains the Bubbles Boutique and Learning Center. So our architecture was somewhat modeled on that prototype. I think Joe mentioned everything else, so I don't have anything else unless there's anything specific I need to bring out that you want to know.
I have a question for architecture. The ceiling heights for the apartments, what size?
9 feet. Approximately 9 feet. Well, actually, what we're going to do, we're going to use the existing second floor height, and then we're going off of that. And we're basically with structure, I would say the ceiling height in there will probably be about maybe 10 feet tops.
For each floor?
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, the total height is 41 feet 8 inches, and that is to the corner element that we have there. The majority is actually 38 foot 8 inches, the balance of the roof. And if anyone's interested, the peak of the existing Loman's building is approximately 36 feet.
The top of Loman's building right now is 36 feet? Did you say?
Approximately. That's the peak, the ridge.
Could you repeat the proposed height?
41, well, the tower at the corner, I can't really call it a tower. Let's just say the corner element. That little piece is 41 foot 8 inches. The balance of the roof is at 38 feet 8 inches.
Thank
So
you.
realistically, you're only a couple of feet higher than the ridge on Loman right now.
So you're saying the existing building is 30 feet?
No, the ridge, the top of the existing building is approximately 36 feet.
Right, let me see. Can you guys see? This is the plan he's talking about. You see, that's the south side. That one corner is a little bit higher.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the existing building.
Oh,
Yeah, I have the existing plans right next to me.
Well,
While I'm talking to you, I'm going to check it again.
yeah, that's just a very small area at that height, but that at the top, you can see that there.
Yeah, that's, well, as long as these existing conditions plans from the previous architect are accurate, the ridge on the existing building is 36 feet high. Yeah, right where the cursor is pointed.
Interesting. So as you know, you're gonna need some relief from the zoning board of appeals. Correct?
That's correct.
So, the number one, the apartments over retail, that's an approval process from the zoning board of appeals. The building height in this area, should not exceed 30 feet per the zone as it stands today. 3-story structure. And as you said, you're gonna be 41 feet, 8 inches in height is proposed. ZBA approval is required for that as well. The building area, your lot coverage, you're good on, as you mentioned, I believe. We talked about the units have to be greater than 500 feet. Your smallest unit is 731, which is fine. The density, as you know, the density for the code as it stands today would allow 5.79 units or 6, and you're requesting 14. So the ZBA approval is required for that. Do you have any signage for your building at this point, or you know?
Since there are no,
Are you gonna have, if signage is required, you're looking for signage, then of course, your architectural review board would be required for any signage. The dumpster right now is not on a 6-inch concrete pad, 6 inch thick, and it's not enclosed. That has to be done by the village stick code. The other requirement that's come down the pike is that change of use. So that Suffolk County Sewer Department needs to be contacted, and application has to be made to them. Any change of use, and regarding the sewer hookup. And then the secret, environmental assessment form. With the zoning board as the acting as the lead agency will be required. The parking lot, you're gonna increase your parking area, so the drainage has to be addressed. Have you thought about that?
yes,
Okay. So presently, the roof drains to dry wells or to the parking lot presently?
to our knowledge, it drains to dry wells, and the proposed design will certainly drain to dry wells.
Okay, so that just has to be considered as well.
Right.
Other than that, does anybody else have any input?
What about lighting?
Good job.
Lighting?
Lighting.
Okay. You have
On the balconies.
second floor balconies, you have lighting?
Second floor, yeah, second floor balconies. Looks like there's lights on either side of the sliding glass doors.
All right. Those are not intended to be walkout balconies, just so we're clear.
Okay. Again, the lighting should be shielded, it's not to shine out into the neighboring area.
They will be dark sky compliant.
Great.
Yeah. It can't be obtrusive to traffic.
They will not be.
So the dumpsters will be used by the retail as well as the apartments?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Again, it just, we have to have the pickup sufficient so that no sanitary or aesthetic problems with that. Okay. And that's basically all I have. Does anybody else have anything?
No.
So you would get a letter from us with the recommendations to go to the ZBA for the items that we discussed here. And that would be your next step. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, yeah.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Have a great night.
You
You too.
Nice night.
Wonder what happened to our boutique hotel.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What have you heard?
They're waiting for better plans at this point with a little more detail.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Hello, David?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, my name's Dave. I'm with 559 Fire Island Avenue.
Yes.
And we're looking to expand our driveway with your permission.
Okay. What you got up there, Jim?
Hold on a second. A little technical difficulties. Give me a second.
So this is going to be an asphalt driveway?
Yeah, currently it's concrete, so we're going to make it asphalt with pavers, trim, and we're also going to put Belgian blocks on the side of that.
David, that's the correct house. We just want to make sure.
That's the house, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So pavers flat, flush with this, with the ground? Or
Yeah, pavers are going to be flush with the ground. The Belgian blocks are going to raise.
Do you want to raise?
Obviously, that's going to present an issue for drainage. So what we plan to do is put a channel at the bottom, a channel drain, and
Yep.
that will connect to a dry well in the middle of the yard. So that will take care of the drainage.
Okay,
So as for the expansion, we're going to want to expand the driveway at its narrowest point. It's going to be 14 feet, which is the width of the curb cut. So we're not going to touch the curb cut at all. And we're kind of going to want to make it like an S shape that about halfway up that goes to the north side of the stairs. And I know the limit is about 20 feet for a driveway. The north side is 25. I was hoping I can get a waiver for that if possible.
okay,
It's kind of just like, we just wanted to fan out. It's not going to take up the whole space.
right.
The size of the lot is 40 by 37.5 feet, which is 1,500 square feet for the front lawn. So with an average of the narrow part being 14 and the widest part of the driveway being 25, you get 19.5 feet by 37.5, which is 731.25 square feet, which is less than the 750. So it'll be basically 49% driveway, 51% grass.
Do you have a plan on that?
Yeah, I do.
It's different than what was given to us.
Hang on.
We didn't have much in the way of dimensions here.
I got all the dimensions over here. If you need anything, I'll help you out with it.
Well, you just,
So, yeah, we just need the dimension, the actual dimensions of the driveway.
Yeah.
Because the way it sounded like it was 20 feet wide.
But
Property is only 40 feet wide. 20 feet wide is already 50%. You're already at your limit.
It
So,
would be, yeah, it would be 20 feet wide at the south side of the stairs, but we want to bring it around to the north side of the stairs. So we can put a little, kind of like a walkway in front of the stairs.
we're gonna have to see dimension plans, dimension drawing.
If you let me share the content, I can show it to you. I got a picture of it right here.
Can we make him a presenter on the screen?
Kevin, it's up to Kevin.
Kevin, is that possible?
Yes, I'm just adding that all panelists can share.
Okay.
Thanks, I got it.
Share screen.
Here you go. So this is more of what I'm proposing. And you can actually see the dimensions over here also.
Okay.
So yeah, the red part would be what we're going to do.
So it's 14.
And that would be
You
25
were
feet
able to
wide.
figure out the total square footage of that?
Yes, we
The
measured,
regular area?
yes.
You know calculus?
I know average.
You know, average, huh?
But we had our contractor come here and he measured with this little wheel measurer.
Well, here's one issue. Jim, you want to mention it or you want me to?
Well, I just wanted to, what's this 4 foot in front of the stoop? Is that pavement?
That's going to be a walkway. So that's going to be level with the ground. It's just going to be a semicircle walkway.
Oh, out of pavers or something,
Yes.
not asphalt. Okay, so here's our other problem. And so you have your garage to the south side.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have an area of living space, I'm assuming, next to it, to the left of the garage as you face the house, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens is the code doesn't allow us to park a car in front driveway, a front yard setback without being in front of a garage.
Okay. I just don't have enough space on the other side to even put a car if I wanted to.
Right. So the area from on the south property line to the driveway was what, 6.8 was that?
Yeah, 6.8 feet.
Now, what we've done in the past is try to protect that area with a planter or something.
I understand that too, but let me tell you the reasoning for this. It's because we kind of live in a unique area of Babylon. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but our street, it floods like crazy. And it's almost every storm and every high tide. So we want to get those cars as close to the house as we can.
Right.
If it wasn't for that, I'd be totally fine with.
There's no way to make a 20-foot wide driveway straight to the garage and extend into the
south,
partly into the side yard.
I mean, I could make it 20 feet if I just cut it off right over here at the south side of the stairs. That would be 20 feet exactly.
I'm trying to avoid having parking between the house and the street line, which is contrary to code.
Yeah.
Right where it says, right where your red dot is in HO or OH, from the garage door going north there, that's the area that the code gives us a little bit of a split.
Yeah, so the garage door would be like right over here.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we pushed you a little bit to the south, say 3 feet, and that'd be 23 to the edge of the garage door. No, I'm sorry. 17 feet. No, not even that.
And you go a couple feet the other way, you know, and I don't know. It's got, it's got to be something he wants to do, and we just.
The other thing is we can send
you want to stay with this, we have to send you to the ZBA for a variance.
Zoning Board of Appeal for approval. And they may ask you for some ballards along that front or some kind of protection.
They may let you do it.
Protect your house.
That's right. You'd have to.
And I think you have a good argument with the flooding, and I understand what your intention is. If you can get 2 cars up there, you can protect them. And I live pretty close to you, so I know exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah, here I got one more picture to show you guys.
You can water.
Is this from like a few days ago, right?
This is what I'm dealing with over here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is probably 3 days ago because it was really bad.
Yeah,
a few days.
It's not just me; it's all my neighbors.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
But,
you have a really
yeah.
valid argument, and once again, just the notion is the protection of someone who's physically there.
You bring
Yeah.
that picture with you to the ZBA.
Absolutely.
Blow that up, sucker up.
Might have to. All right, if you guys think I have an argument for this, I'd like to do it, you know.
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to do it. Yeah,
We'll write it up
absolutely.
in such a way that's,
They may ask you what Jim was suggesting is go 3 feet a little bit to the south, overlap that way. And,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of squeeze it in. But I feel your pain.
That might be a compromise that they'd go for.
we'll give you a little,
3 feet, so.
So when you go there, just say, hey, listen, be very frank and say my intention, I need to get 2 cars up because look at this photo. I'm willing to do whatever you guys suggest that would make it work. Help me try and figure this out. This is the best thing I came up with. What do you guys suggest?
Yeah, all right.
Your other option is obviously a grass full type product.
What's that?
What it is, it's like a honeycomb of concrete that gets
Oh.
buried, and you plant grass over it, and you can park on it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. My neighbor has one of those.
Rich, we still have the problem with parking between the road and the house.
Yeah, that would be in front of the house.
Still be in front of the house.
You know, in essence, it's a honeycomb. It allows grass to grow through.
Let us write it up.
Okay.
Go to ZBA.
All right, so zoning board of appeals.
Yeah, we're gonna send you a letter. We'll get it out as soon as possible. Check the ZBA's schedules, try to get on there next week.
All right,
You want to move this along, I know, so we'll go as fast as we can with the letter.
okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Good luck.
Have a good night, thanks.
All right.
Hey. Looking for 300 West Main.
That's the church.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Good
I'm
evening.
good. How are you?
Good. So you guys want to put a dumpster in, huh?
We do. We do. We have trash cans right now that are overflowing and unsightly, and we would like to put in a permanent dumpster.
Okay. So dumpsters in the town in the village of Darwin are required to be on a 6-inch thick concrete pad, surrounded by a chain link fence with vinyl slats in it for to keep it covered.
Okay.
We would
That's-
ask for that.
I'm sorry.
We'd ask for it to be a minimum of 15 feet away from any residential property on that, over in the corner where you want to put it. The more the better. And we would ask that you, because it is near a residential, you don't pick it up at 4 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. So other than that, and of course, that the frequency of pickup would have to be such that there's no aesthetic problems or any overflow.
Sure.
That's basically it.
Okay. The fence, I'm sorry. It's must be the chain link with the slats, not a PVC.
We prefer the chain link. It holds up better.
Okay.
We found that the vinyl plastic does get banged up, and
Sure.
chain link is a little more robust, and the vinyl privacy slats make it very nice.
Okay.
You know what size dumpster you're going to be looking to put in there?
I do. We got the recommendation from Village Sanitation. So it was about 77 inches.
So like a 2-yard. That usually goes by yardage.
Yes, it's a 2-yard.
2-yard.
Yes.
Is that? Are you serviced by the village? Do they pick it up?
We are.
Okay. So you're working with them on a dumpster that they would be able to pick up.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right, very good. I have no other questions. Anybody else have any questions?
No,
No.
No, not at all.
we'll send you a letter.
We get a letter of
So
approval?
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
You have a good day.
Okay.
I didn't get a name.
No, I didn't
Jeanette
get
did,
it.
sure.
Jeanette, did you get the name?
That was Joanne.
Joanne Torres-Sevilla.
Tresivia.
Yep.
Tresivia.
Okay, great. Steve and Nancy, are you on?
We're gonna unmute. Here we are. We're here.
You can share it.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
I think we're
video
good.
setting. Can you see it?
Share.
The screen
We
here.
can see you, but we don't know if, there we go. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, there we are.
No.
Just to confirm, Steve and Nancy, that's your house, correct?
Yes.
Yes. that
Okay,
was
great.
Quite a few years back.
Okay.
The shrubs are gone on the left.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I
Yeah,
think your neighbor came across the planning board a while ago too, asking some.
Yeah.
relief there.
Her project is well on its way.
Okay.
Yeah, coming along.
Good.
Should we explain what we're trying to do or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So basically, we're looking to not expand anything, but to replace the concrete driveway and the walkways in front of the house with pavers throughout. There's no cobblestone or anything that's going to be raised on the driveway. The square footage, we need a little bit more square footage on the left side of the house. As you look at it, that's a 2-foot walkway across there. You can't really see it there, but we want to make that 3, and then it would be 3 all the way across, and 3 down to the front, and leave the driveway size the way it is now. Just replace the material basically from concrete to pavers. The other part of that we want to do is we want to replace the curbing, basically all along the front 100 feet of the property, from the sewage drain or the storm drain to there's an apron on the right-hand side that comes at the end of the
Yeah, that's all eaten up.
street on Livingston. So there's not much curb left, so we'd like to replace that with concrete curbing.
Yeah, the plows have taken most of it, as you can see. It's chewed
Have
it
you
all up.
approached the village?
Well, that's what we wanted to speak to you about today also, because I know that in other instances, they have done a 50-50 on the curbs.
That's
So
correct.
we want to replace the curbs and
If we can work something with the village, that would
Yeah.
be great too.
I would speak with the highway department.
okay.
I know
They may
that-
have jurisdiction.
Well, they.
Well, we're glad to have take it over.
They definitely had a program. I think it's still.
Yeah, it was 50-50.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Only problem with that is you get on a list and it takes forever.
Yeah, we're willing to do the 50-50.
Yeah. I mean,
And just have it done ourselves through
if that works.
through our mason, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if that,
No, I think,
but you can try. But I believe they want to use their mason. Their mason gets locked in for, they bid it out and he's locked in for a certain rate.
Right.
So-
He also has municipal specs he has to follow,
Mhm.
which you would have to follow too.
Mm-hmm.
But those answers could be best answered by the Superintendent of Highway, Skip Gardner,
Okay.
and the Highway Department. So that would be the best.
Same
bet.
with sidewalks too.
Yeah.
If we had sidewalk questions, yeah, which we do also.
Yeah.
Some of the Livingston Avenue sidewalk is heaved up a little bit, and we want to see what we can do to correct that, so nobody gets injured working on it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would definitely contact.
Yeah. I mean, we always make sure that it's plowed so that they can see that it's heaved in certain areas so they don't trip.
Right.
We always keep it cleared.
Okay.
Make sure you mention that it's heaved
Mhm.
and point out repeatedly that the potential for injury, the village is probably more afraid of their insurance company than you, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically in the spot between where those people are walking up and the stop sign needs a little bit of work.
Yeah.
So that looks a lot newer than what's in front of the house.
Oh, yeah. Well, the stuff in front of the house, the walkways are from the original 1955, and the driveway is probably 1965, 67, something like that.
Mm.
So they've lived their life.
Yeah, sure. End of life.
Yeah.
They're done.
So the work on your property, the driveway and the walkways, as you mentioned, that you're not increasing the paved area, so we have where we can actually approve that without asking for drainage because we fought for that. So you have it.
Okay.
I have no problems with what you want to do there. I think it's compatible with the area, and I would approve it. Does anybody else have any concerns?
No.
We're good.
Nope.
So you get a letter of approval for the driveways and the walkways.
Okay.
And we'll, in the letter, we'll mention the curbing and the sidewalk that you're going to get in touch with the village superintendent of highways or the highway department.
Okay.
Okay, and that's all through the village then. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's your best bet.
All right.
Okay.
And definitely talk to them before you move ahead on the curbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we thought okay.
Good luck, everything. Yes.
Okay, how about Mulberry? So anybody
We
on?
have, Vincent Palladino. I'm gonna add him.
That works. If not, we could just kind of go over what's going on. I think this is actually the third time he's been on the planning board for this garage. Okay, so what we have here, he originally came to you guys for a garage on the right side, south side of his property.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of gonna be backing up to his boathouse, his existing boathouse, with a big wraparound driveway in order to get a new curb cut. After reviewing that was with the previous architect. He brought me on and we kind of discussed putting a new garage on the north side of his property and just connecting into his existing driveway and curb cut, which we came to you back in March or April, beginning of the coronavirus, and we had this layout approved. So in doing this, we got a building permit, and he staked and realized that he wanted the garage rotated 90 degrees. So it was just easier to turn in because it's a little tight with what we have shown here, accessing it from the north. So we simply rotated the garage in the original footprint and gave us driveway on the west side of it. All of the stormwater will still flow down to the bottom of his driveway, would still remain on site.
Where would it flow to?
It flows down his driveway. Let me just zoom out here.
And into the back, like it did the last time?
Yep, exactly. Same exact setup.
It'll pitch that way.
Yep. We're at, 620, and then the difference there is
370?
around that. Yep. And he originally had, I don't even think I have the original plans here, but he previously had something more along the lines of this.
Yep. Yep.
So there was a lot more impervious area.
Yes.
So luckily we got past that. As much as he would have still loved and still pushes to get his garage on that south side, it's just not an option with no curb cut.
Right. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Just how close is the garage to the curb?
The street curb?
Yes.
38 feet, 38 and a quarter.
So you're within the setback?
No, the front yard setback, I believe, was 30 feet. I should have checked that before I got on. I have it in this.
This is A11, right?
This is.
Let's see, where is it? I should have it here.
Yeah, you're at 38.25 feet.
Yep. Let's see. Do I have? I don't have the calculations on this. See if I have.
Well, that's from the property line, correct? 38
Yeah, that's from the property line. At 38.25.
And this is A11.
Yeah, so it's the same. It should be the same as what we previously had. So that was approved. I forget offhand exactly what lot we
You
are.
haven't changed it.
Yeah, so that we just simply rotated the garage.
Right.
You just changed the door location.
Correct. And
Well,
not that it matters to you guys, we rotated the peak. So the gable is rotated 90 degrees. But the
And
building
what about the length and width?
same.
So it's a square?
Still a square, 24 by 24.
Okay.
And now that I look at it, we actually did shift it more to the north 4 feet. So it went from previous 20 feet to 16, which we are still within the 15 that was
Right.
required.
The front yard setback for A11 is 35 feet.
Okay, yep.
And you're at 38, so you're fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so the only reason we're with the planning board is the driveway,
Right.
my understanding.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You can, if it can drain the same way that we approved it prior to this, so.
Yep, yeah, it will definitely not be going on the road. If need be, if during construction we determine that he can't get it all back down his driveway, we'll put in drainage, a dry well underneath the new person.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have one additional question, not to beleaguer this point, but if it's gonna flow that way eastward down the driveway, where's it gonna drain to? Are there any lawn vegetated areas? It looks like there's a ramp and then the creek. Are there grass areas?
I forget what he has down here. I wanted to say that it was grassy down here, but I don't recall offhand if we could.
Is there a vegetated buffer along the driveway?
No, I believe he has Belgian blocks.
Yeah, we'd have to know where that water is gonna go.
So is that ramp a boat ramp?
That's a boat ramp, yes.
So that would go right into the.
Yeah, we don't want the water going into the creek.
We don't want-
Yes, understood. I will, I have to just confirm with the property what exists at the bottom of the driveway.
Do we have a satellite view of that?
Yeah, I have one ready here if you want. I'm gonna,
Can
you could
throw
just
that
say
up?
stop sharing. Okay. All right, hold on. You guys see it here?
Yep.
Okay.
So
There's no lawn.
it's paved to the end.
Is that gravel here?
I don't know.
A lot of pavement.
Yeah, it's all paved down and then he's got pavers, but it does look like there might be a dry well, a catch basin at the bottom of his driveway. So I can confirm if he has any specs on that.
Okay.
All right.
But I think there is some grassy area if you see just off the northeast of the house itself. There's a little grass for some infiltration, but yes, not a large grassy area. So what I can also propose to him is just putting a dry well in the new portion of driveway. So then the existing driveway and
Yeah, that
its
might be. a good
drainage
idea.
system can remain.
I think would be better off with that.
Okay.
You could also, on that radius there, put some blocks down low and let the water go into the lawn.
Yeah, I'm not against that at all. I can, I'll propose that to him as well. And
I don't know how high the water table is there. So.
High.
Mm-hmm. He must sit high because he pitches to the back. So. Okay,
If we don't put Belgian block, then we could just have it drain right back into the grass to the south.
yes.
That'd work as well. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So get back to us what you want to do.
Okay. Yep. I'll talk to him and I'll get back to you. I'll shoot you guys in what who
Okay.
exactly would I shoot the email to get it as
To,
direct as
building
possible?
department.
Building department. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Not a problem.
Great.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
All right.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good night. Appreciate it. Yep.
Hey, Mac,
You.
is there any way you could, you could, maybe get that, the thing for Trask Lane over to Jim and he could, share it?
What was that?
Thing for Trask Lane.
Trask Lane, we've got two different, floor plan, I mean, site plans. We're looking for the one that's the most current.
Map that Jeanette sent us?
Yeah. Did everybody get that? I didn't get it.
For what?
Sent it to everybody.
Yeah. Jim should have gotten that also.
Yeah,
Yes. What's the house number there?
27.
27, yeah.
all right, hang on a second. I can.
We have to discuss the November meeting too.
We do?
It falls on Thanksgiving.
Oh, perfect.
Serve turkey.
Well,
You guys see the,
all right.
Here
Oh,
we
there it
go.
is. You got it. Okay. I was just going to email it to you. Good.
Yep, got it.
Good one.
Good job, Jim.
Jeanette, is this it? Is this the latest?
It looks like it. That looks like it.
Now, the one in the folder had 7 feet on the east side, green space. And it said in red pen that he was gonna add,
That was from the last meeting. That wasn't from this meeting. That wasn't from the one he sent me.
okay, so this is the one. Okay, we have no drainage here. So we need, new asphalt driveway shown. Drainage, pitch, he's pitching it out to the street.
Pitching it right to the street with Belgian block borders.
New Belgian
Yeah,
block border.
he needs a strip drain.
He needs drainage.
A dry well, or
Well,
what should I tell him?
He'll need 2 dry wells, one on either side of, one for each side of the driveway.
Okay, 2 dry wells on each side.
Right.
What else?
Connected to strip drains.
Connected?
French drain.
Yeah, a strip or French drain. He needs to coordinate the new 20-foot curb cut on the east side with the superintendent of highways.
Okay.
What
But
else?
first you want to see a new drawing. Is that what you're saying? Are you, what do you want something from him saying where the, that he's gonna do, he's gonna comply with this?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. I'll send him tomorrow. Anything else I should add?
Total front yard, 300, proposed paved area, 16. Total green landscaped area equals, he's below the 50%. How can that be? He's at 49%.
Green area?
Total green landscaped area equals 1570 equals 49%.
He could cut back on, what he could do is where he has the front porch, cut back on that and even out. He doesn't have to go
Doesn't,
equal because he doesn't need 30 feet. He could get away with 20.
And the curb cut I'm looking at, the right side is 20 feet wide. It's
I don't
kind of
even-
wide. Is that necessary?
tell him to shorten up his paved area on the east side.
He wants, I guess he wants to park 4 cars here?
Yes, because 2 of them are currently parked in the street at all times, and that's a very narrow street. And you
Yeah,
can't-
that street is crazy. Have you
Yeah,
guys
it's
want to
down
see an
there.
aerial of that?
Yeah.
I've been there, I know.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
tight.
Let me show you, because it's beyond tight. I don't even know how they got houses in there, but
He's
Yeah, we're
currently
down there.
got 2 cars parked on the grass.
Mhm.
so this is super narrow. I mean, let me show you this view. It's really interesting. This is the street.
That's the house that burnt down.
Yeah, that's
Well,
where his house is.
If
That's
you have
right
2
there.
cars passing, I don't even know if a fire truck can get through with 2 cars parked.
Can't. You can't even get 2 cars down there.
No, you can't. It's like a driveway.
Yeah. That's right. He came to us about it.
So I'm saying he could leave the width, and instead of having 12 foot from the front porch or 12 foot wide, he can make that shorter. And he could also cut off the top part of the new driveway.
Right.
And that would give him less surface area paved and more green.
Yes. He needs, at 1%, what's he need, like 17 square feet? 16?
Jeanette?
Yeah.
Yes,
Want me to send him a letter?
sure. If you want to write something up.
Yeah, I'll put his letter together and I'll send it to Jim and you.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Mac. All right,
But
November.
I don't think he could cut down on the 20 feet width because he needs to be able to get, if he wants to put 2 cars.
But you're right, he could reduce the 12 to
Yeah, he
11.
could reduce to 12 and he could square it off. Instead of having it like mirror image, he could just cut off the front part that would attach to a garage that
Right,
isn't there.
right.
Well, I'm going to explain to him that the issue with the green space and let him decide what he wants to cut off.
Yep, great. Okay,
Jeanette, I was going to say, you could still call him if you wanted to, if he's pestering you, and just tell him that, the way it stands right now, it's a no-go. And he's should expect a letter shortly.
Okay,
I'll do my best to get it out quickly.
it's
all right,
correct.
thanks, I will. I'll call him in the morning.
Just, we bring it into within the numbers and it'll be a go.
Okay,
I
Drainage
think
and the numbers.
just for information, we're still live over the internet and we're broadcasting.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so November and December are both problems. So I think for Jeanette and her posting, we should determine what dates we want to use in both months.
Will do.
I think the only one you have is the 19th in
Yes.
November.
Okay,
Yeah.
And December, you only have the 17th.
Yes.
all right, well, that makes it easy because I already got 5 applications for November, so I'm just gonna cut it off so I can send it to Beacon
Right,
well, November, October.
for November.
yeah.
So
So
5
this
How about
way, Jeanette knows the
Yeah.
19th of November.
And the 17th of December.
December?
Yeah,
Although they
December.
canceled New Year's Eve in New York, we could always do it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they're not letting people in.
No.
All right, well, that's it. That's good. I can cut off November.
So what did we
and
decide on the Thanksgiving meeting?
19th.
Okay.
In October, we're still good for the 30th, right?
But October was still
29th.
good.
October 29th.
Oh, 29th, I'm sorry. 29th.
Yeah,
And the 17th for December.
okay.
How many
Sounds good.
applications? How many applications in October?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's 5 in October.
Okay,
There's none for November yet.
okay. I thought we were booked all the way in.
Sorry.
And Jeanette, thank you so much for putting these folders together.
Yeah, it's really great.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sorry if they're hard to read when I have to take pictures.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
doing a great job. Really appreciate it. And the minutes have been very good too.
Thank you. All right, I'll need help with this one. So Jim, I'll be sending them to you to read over.
Okay, we'll do.
All right.
I'm sorry, just October's date, really quick again, was the 22nd?
29th,
No.
29th.
Okay, got
October.
it. Yeah, October 29th. Okay, great.
That was the last Thursday.
Jim, let me ask you, are we still going virtual next
I-
month? This is
Yes,
getting old.
right, Jeanette?
The executive order
Yeah.
expires on October 4th. So, but just so you guys know, just so you have both kind of sides of the equation, the executive order expires on October 4th, but the executive order allows you to do it virtually. It doesn't require you to do it virtually. So some places are going back to in person. The town of Babylon started doing their planning board meetings in person again a few meetings ago because we had a backlog of kind of highly, a lot of interesting and a lot of people want to speak on a couple of things that we had postponed till recently, and we're phasing back in, I believe, ZBA in October and possibly a couple other boards in November. But basically, the requirement is that if you can't fully comply or fully make sure that everybody that attends in person can attend safely, then you have to also live stream the meeting. So one of the things we've been dealing with on the town end is setting up a computer and a camera and a person to be able to live stream the meeting from within the in-person meeting as well. So that's one of the factors to take into account if you guys did decide to go back to in person. And we'll see on October 4th, that I think is not this weekend, but next weekend, whether or not they extend it again to allow you to do it virtually. So
I guess we would probably
since
have to
they're
go downstairs then.
Right, that's what I was gonna suggest. That's plenty of room down there.
I know,
Yeah.
but
But you gotta check with the courts and everything, right?
we have to
Sometimes
have-
courts are happening the same time as our meeting.
Right, and we have to
Yeah.
have IT involved if there is an IT department in the village.
Yes.
That could handle the streaming of the meeting.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have an IT person in the village,
They
Kevin?
must have a handle on it because they've been doing the village board meetings, right?
I
But
think
that's through
The
Kevin.
town is doing them for us.
Oh,
Yeah. I think the town is our IT person. Kevin's our IT
Yeah.
person.
actually, not the IT person for the town. I'm just the person who has worked with Mary for a while. So I can at least run these. I won't an IT person, but yeah, certainly if it's something you guys decide to do for the October meeting, it's something we've kind of gone through the motions of setting up on the town end. We could certainly have a conversation among this group with Mary and kind of go over the pros and cons of if you guys want to go back to in person October or November, whenever we may be forced to if the governor doesn't extend it, but we could certainly have another meeting offline about that, the pros and cons of that.
Okay, I can talk to Mary and get the ball rolling on that, see where we are. All right,
Thanks, Kevin.
All right.
thank you, Kevin. Okay.
Kevin, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody have a good night.
Okay,